Next to me here is a bright yellow 1978 Lotus Elite that I have accidentally bought. And I'll tell you a little bit how I've accidentally bought it later on. But what I want to do in this video is to try and get this car up and running and driving just enough to make it the 100 miles back to the Tasty Classics workshop. Now, this car hasn't seen the road, apart from looking at it from where it's parked here, for 25 years. It's been off the road untaxed since 1999, and on the face of it, it looks quite clean. But there are some problems with it. The tyres are very, very badly perished. There is no brakes whatsoever. There's no fluid in the brake reservoir, and the person that owns it now, or owned it before I bought it this morning, has never ever heard it run. Cool. So this was one of those late night bids. You know, the ones that you make when you're just sort of surfing away on the World Wide Web and you come across an auction site. This wasn't like an eBay or anything. This was one of those standalone classic car auction websites. And I saw this and I thought, yeah, that looks cool. And I put a bid of £1,000 on that car. And if you're a regular viewer of this channel, I recently bought another blue Lotus Eclat, which is the same thing, just with a slightly different back on it. And same year and everything. And when I bought that blue one, I'd forgotten that I put that £1,000 bid on this car. I purposely forgot about it because I thought there is no way that I would be able to buy a bright yellow Lotus Elite for £1,000. On Monday morning, sat at my computer and bing, I got an email through from the auction website saying, Ben, you've won the auction. So now I've got two old Lotuses that don't work properly. Okay, cool. Is this going to be an accidental auction bargain, or is this going to be the best part of £2,000 down the drain? On the face of it, it looks like really clean and nice, but the tyres are terrible. They're very badly perished and flat and just not great. And it's a 215/60/14. Normal tyre size. I've currently got Joe phoning around seeing if there's anywhere local that can supply us with some tyres for this so I can drive at home, because like that blue one had like quite nice tyres on it that were only sort of recently replaced, whereas these aren't going to make it home. They're going to explode the second I hit a pothole. And when I was looking at these tyres, I seen like a shiny silver brake caliper and stuff in there. So I'm really hoping that this car has had some, you know, good stuff done to it. But I can also see that that tyre is very close to the front of the car. It should be more in the middle, shouldn't it? That's surely not right. And that side again, very close. Are they supposed to be like that? I should know. I've got one, another one. But yeah, bodywork wise, it's lovely. The paintwork's so much nicer on this than the other one. But yeah, these tyres are, yeah, they're in a bad way. They really are. But it's not too bad of a thing. I've not been able to get that much of a clear history of this car and why it's sort of laid up here. Bill, who I got it off, bought the car from the same classic car auction that I got it from, and then he put it on his driveway with visions to sort of get it back on the road and do more stuff to it. Bill, fair play to him, he's got a few other cars going on, but he's in his 80s, and he just said, look, you know, I've not been very well, I just haven't got the time to touch this thing, so he put it back through the auction, and that's where I got it. So now I'm sort of like, well, you know, these classic car auctions can be scary places. You know, what's hiding underneath this thing? What problems are we going to have trying to get this thing, trying to bring this thing back to life? I haven't got like loads of service history or stuff with it. I don't know anything about it from before it was sort of parked up here. I just don't know. And I've got to try my best to work with what I've got. And what I've got is a Joe who's desperately trying to find some tyres right now. And his mum and dad's up, the up of doom. It's a take up. It's got wind-up windows and all my tools and stuff, and a jack and water and petrol and just loads of good things. And yeah, we're just sort of working on this guy's driveway, really. Inside it, the interior immediately is so much nicer than that blue one. It's so clean and tidy and just, I mean, in comparison, whoa, Look at how good it is in the back. It's the lap of luxury, man. Does that come up? What's in there? Is that an ashtray? Oh, an ashtray. Lovely. We'll have a little smoke in that later when we break down on the side of the road, no doubt. It's got a sunroof. This is not a factory fitted sunroof by the looks of it. This is one of those ones that people just like take, they used to take it to those companies and they would just stick a load of screws in it, and that was your sunroof. Thanks very much. We're showing 75,000 miles on the clock and it feels nice. You know, there's no sort of wires and stuff hanging down. It's just, it feels like it could be okay. All the switch gear and things seems to be there. It's not like dirty or anything inside here. It's quite clean and quite nice, and I don't know, maybe it's got potential, this thing. I really hope it has, because I've just spent £2 on it and without seeing it at all. I just saw a couple of pictures on the auction and I thought that'd make a fun video. It feels like it's got a gearbox. Accelerator does something, brake pedal just goes directly to the floor, which is great, and the clutch is stiff as a board. I'm an absolute idiot, aren't I? Why do I do these things? What I really need to know about is what's under here. And oh my god, a pneumatic bonnet strut. That's a turn up for the books. Instantly, looks quite clean under here. Looks quite nice. Looks really smart. Again, looks in potentially a lot better, more complete than the last one I bought. Does that work? Nope. Where's the battery though? Why is there no battery in it? The battery was here on the other one. It's supposed to be the same car. It's exactly the same year. Where does the battery go? But yeah, look, it's got a splash guard and stuff. There's no fan, oh that's free, that's good. There's no fan belt on it at all. That's disappeared and we might need that to get home. But it's not there, which is annoying. The cam belt looks, I mean, it looks like a cam belt, and I don't know, that's, yeah, if it goes, it goes. We've got another engine, haven't we, attached to that other car. Look at these as well, these Delortos as well, really nice. God, I hope they work. But fuel pipes and stuff, I mean, it's not too bad. Look at that filter there, it doesn't look crazy. What's that there as well? Looks like a breather for something. Is that like a fuel return? Do these have fuel returns? What's that supposed to be attached to then? I have no idea. Okay. Yep, lovely. Now, there's no brake pedal at all, and I can sort of tell just by how beautiful and clean and clear that is. I mean, that's never seen brake fluid in its life. What's happened there? I've got brake pipes attached to it, but that, I mean, there's no brake fluid in there. Oh my god, we're gonna have to try and make brakes work and everything. I'm actually quite scared with this one. I was all right with the other one. I don't know why. I think it's because he said he'd heard it running, but Bill has never heard this car run, ever. So he might hear it for the first time today. He might not. He might hear it start and then explode. Who knows? Where's the oil on these? I should remember from the last one, shouldn't I? Don't know what I'm looking for in there. Looks all right though. That breather just comes directly out there where it probably shouldn't. Is that what that's supposed to be? No, definitely not. That's the oil around your side. Okay. Doesn't look too bad, that. Now the oil filter on it as well looks quite, I can't see, it's on your side. The oil filter looked quite clean and fairly new, so I'm hoping that this oil is half decent as well. You know, wiring wise, it all looks fairly straightforward and stuff, doesn't it? Like it's there. Again, this is a completely ridiculous notion, this, isn't it? Yeah, throttle's all free and stuff, which is good. What does this do? Someone please in the comments tell me, what is that for? I'll put it over there though, just for the moment. This being an Elite means it has this sort of more angled, I don't know, you could say like almost shooting brake, bread van potential type thing. And it's great and all that. I don't know if it looks as good as the Eclat. What do you think? Let me know. But it does have this little hatch, which is great. But I can't for the life of me figure out how to get in it. There's no lock, there's no button. So, is there a button down there? I can't, that's just a wiper. How do you... Pop that in the spares pile. There's like a glass screen partition here as well, so I can't reach in to get to like the batteries. Maybe this is why it's never run, because nobody can get through there. I'm going to have to Google how to open a boot on a car. I do know what I'm doing. I promise, I do. How do you open the boot on a Lotus Elite?
Pull the thin coat hanger-like lever located under the driver's steering column forward to release the boot.
There's nothing there. I just said under the driver's steer. What the fuck? It's in the glove box. Oh! Oh, is that a tax disc? Nope. As I'm pulling on it, push up and down on it like that. So the problem we're having is that something there? Nope. Is that there is this thing here, look. This like glass partition between me and success. Oh, there's nothing under that either. Oh my God, here it comes. Oh no, hang on. Hey! I was simply looking in the wrong place. Oh, what a time to be alive. Now we have access to all of this good stuff. A battery with proper posts on it. I've got one of those with me. Looks like a colostomy bag there. We'll use, okay. That'll go again, won't it? What's that? That's the electric aerial that's there. Battery terminals look okay. What have we got down there? What is this? Is this our fuel pump? I think that's our fuel pump. Fuel pipe. Look at these connections. Isn't that a nice little connection? That's the best thing I've ever seen, with a live wire just dangling round. That's another... What is this? What is that? What does that do? It's another electric aerial or something. I've got no idea what that is. Looks like wiper blades. Oh yeah, that's for the wiper maybe. But okay, so we've potentially got a fuel pump there, which is good. Don't know what the tank's going to be like or anything. Oh, we've got like a... Oh, cool! Little toolbox with a jack. Oh, great. I'll put it down there because we might need that. Got my jack with me, but a second one's always good. Are they sun visors? Maybe. There's nothing under there. That's just the boot. Plastic of the boot. But yeah, look at that. It's like a limousine. So I'm going to squirt a bit more oil into the engine just because it was on the minimum. And then I'm going to put our battery pack to it and I'm going to see if we've got ignition lights. And then if the start motor turns over, which would be huge. And a big bonus, and a good first step. Oh, it's drawing current from somewhere. I heard it go, I heard it fizz ever so slightly. Something's on. Excuse me. Whoa. Just, okay. Oh God. Oh, jeez. This chair wants me to lie down in it. Not yet. Buy me a drink first. Okay, have I broken that? I could drive it home like this, that's fine. I'm just going to try and get some... Oh, look at that. Get some air rotating in here before we rotate this key. Come on, baby. Oh! It says brakes. Doesn't say ignition, but loads of stuff switched on then. I don't know what it was, but loads of stuff switched on. Now, these two things, more importantly. Oh, yes, come on. 50% of the electric windows work perfectly. 100% of the electric windows work perfectly. This car's going to make it home. Almost certain of it. Windscreen wiper doesn't, but don't worry, it's not raining. Indicators do work. I think there's Oh no. Yep, indicators work. We're, again, better than the other one. The steering wheel does feel like it's attached. Okay, okay. When I go to flash the lights, it makes the most horrible noise. So, I guess I'll stop that. Hazards are working, come on. You see those green flashy things there? We'll probably need those. Right then, so accelerator, we know that I've got. Brake, all the way to the floor. Clutch, come on baby. I mean, it's doing something. It feels like a cable loaded clutch rather than a cylinder. So if it's a cable clutch, that again is a massive win, because the oil powered clutches do tend to seize up. It's clutching and we need a start motor. Come on! Right, now is this handbrake? I don't know if that's holding us or not. Oh, when the handbrake goes off, fasten seatbelts light comes on. That's cool, but it feels like it's doing something, so maybe we might have a little, you know, we could just at least get us onto the flats maybe using the handbrake. So when I switched this on, I did not hear a fuel pump. That is not working. Okay, so I'm going to see if I've got power to this fuel pump. Right, I can see the ignition's on, and yeah, we've got dim voltages, which is no voltages in Welsh. So what about this thing here then? There's no earths on this car anyway. Ah, haha. Right then, we have got, oh, I've got 12.4 volts to the coil. That's exceptional news. Now that I've twizzled these sort of fuses around, I'm going to go and try that fuel pump again. It should be going now. It should be flying, going bzzz. But it ain't, is it? Oh, oh, ho, ho. Nice. Right, I've got 12 volts to that fuel pump. So it is just a knackered fuel pump. And I do have one with me. But we've also got the boat tank, because I don't know what the fuel tank on this car is going to be like. I've just been looking in the engine bay here, and I was about to try and hook my boat tank up and then pull a spark plug out. And there's fuel in the fuel filter. I think that's fuel. I mean, it's very, very clear. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the bottom of the fuel filter off, and I'm going to see what comes out of it, try and catch it, try and smell it, and I can also attach my boat tank to the bottom of this. And I can manually pump some fuel into it, because I'm not sure what that is. I hope that's not water. There's a chance it might be, so I just want to smell it first, because I can't smell any fuel, and that fuel pump hasn't done anything. Okay, so I've got my little bottle here, and I'm just going to try to catch this now. Ah, why is that coming out of there at such a pressure? What's that all about? How weird is that? Look at it. It's literally pulsing in. Oh my God. And it stinks of fuel. Now, anyway, it does. Oh my God. It's under proper pressure, that. That is pumping. Is that fuel pump working? But I just can't hear it. Is it a silent fuel pump? Surely not. That is dead weird, but the pipes look okay, and that does stink of fuel, and the fuel is clear. I mean, is it a case of just sticking the choke on and seeing if this thing goes? I mean, I'd like to see if there's a spark there, though. I've got that feeling of excitement that you get, because just like, so Bill has never heard this car run, right? I didn't look in here either. I've never heard this car run, and the auction listed it as a non-runner. But that fuel smelt nice, and it was under a bit of pressure. I don't know what's going on with that fuel pump. Is that even the fuel pump I was looking at? I don't know. I don't know anything about cars. I really don't. I mean, that is... Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. That is dry as a bone. There is nothing in there, so we're going to have to stick some water in it as well. Got some with me, I'll just leave that loosely on there. She's a bit rich, she's a bit sooty, but that's a fairly nice new looking spark plug as well. Right, let's see if we've got a spark out of it. Maddest thing, I just reconnected the battery and as I did it, I heard the fuel pump go boop, 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 boop. So I don't know if it's just doing a few and then stopping, or if it only works when the engine's being cranked. I just don't know. I'm going to kind of keep my eye. What does that do? Anyway, I'm going to kind of keep my eye on the fuel situation down here, if I can, while I'm looking for this spark. Right then, Joe, can we have a crank? Yes, I saw a spark, but that booster pack's toast. I've got a battery with me, but that's all I've got. Let's get it swapped over. Oh, it's a hand cut. Oh yeah, it's very light. You can tell it's empty. Get that colostomy bag out of the way. Brand new one going in. I wonder if there was just not enough juice power-wise on the fuel pump and that's why it wasn't really up to much. Don't know. Anyway, we'll torque this down with this ratchet spanner. I hope Halfords isn't watching. Okay. The new battery's in. Bill's come out to watch. I don't know what's left to do. Choke out, foot down, twist the key. Come on, you old girl. Doesn't quite want to go. Oh. She doesn't. Let me just see what's going on inside those two carbs. Joe's still trying to desperately get tyres as well, but they're just such funny sizes. Nobody's got any, which could be a real issue for us. Even trying brand new anything. Nobody makes these wheels anymore, really, do they? 215, 40, 14 or whatever they are. I don't know. What's in there? Looks all right. Fairly clean. I kind of maybe heard it bark on like 1 or 2 cylinders, but again, it's just, I've got no idea when this thing last ran. That one looks all right as well. Nice little parts tray on here, haven't there? Thought of everything. British engineers. Right. Fuel filter's still full. I can sort of hear something happening, but it's just not turning over very fast, is it? Oh, come on. Come on, come on. Yes, you beautiful thing. Come on, run on your own juice. Come on. Come on. This is what we wanted, right? Let's give it a bit more of this. Come on. And then pick up your own fluids. That's what we want to see you do. Nearly. Oh, right, I've heard it go. That's awesome. That's really, really good. It's not turning over very quick. And one of the things I'm concerned about is that battery, that's all I've got. And it's on a driveway. The battery's all the way over there. So I can't get a car next to it with jump leads or anything. So all I've got is that battery. So what I might try and do is start motor. See the start motor on there? I might try and drive it out on its start motor just to get it where it's on the road there. It's tax and roadworthy exempt, MOT exempt, so that'll be fine, that'll be okay. And then at least if the battery does die, we've got a chance of putting jump leads on it. Because it's just, yes, turning over very, very slowly. Just means it's got loads of compression. Right, okay, let me move a few things around and we'll try and put her out there. First time on the road in 26 years. Granted, it got it there via its starter motor, but still, it's in a place now where we can get a car behind it to attach a jump pack to. It doesn't want to fire very easily, and if it does, we're not getting any charge back in the battery because of that alternator's just not doing anything. So I need to put that belt on. And when I say that belt, I mean this one here. Okay, very 2-minute-esque job. It's on. It could be a little bit tighter, but it's good enough. It's going to spin that alternator around nicely. Now what I need to do is, can I hear any fuel? I can't really. I wonder why. Right, now they've got the battery hooked up though, I need to see if I can make it run a little bit more permanently, because there is fuel there, but I just don't think it's going up. Still got my boat tank to try though, so not all is lost, but it'd be nice if we can get this thing running and idling properly, because if we can, all we're looking at then hopefully is tyres and brakes, and we could get this thing home. Bill's got his Jag there ready to go as well if we need to put the jumpers on. Big diesel Jag. It's definitely like a no fuel situation, I think. That's what that looks like in there, by the way. It's a lovely colour. All the plugs are out and they have all come out. I mean, they've dried off a bit now sitting in the sun, but they did all come out quite wet. But I just want to clean them up with this wire brush now and a bit of brake cleaner. I mean petrol. I wouldn't spray brake cleaner into this such a gorgeous Lotus developed engine. Of course I wouldn't. But I'm going to clean those up and I'm going to check each one for spark before I put them back in. Yeah, we have, but it's, I mean, it's not exactly the biggest spark in the world, but there's one there. Next. And again. And again. Right, I've got no spark. Right now, and again. Go on, and again. Got no spark on this cylinder, which means I'm going to have to get in there and do stuff. Well, let's try the others. What cylinder are we on there? Number 3. Right, let's try this one. Yeah, got a good spark there. And what about this one? And again. Okay, right, so I've got no spark on 1 and 3, so I'm going to have to get into the distributor now and see what I can find. This is in a really easy to access place, of course it is. But we've got a spark going to 2, just not 1 and 3. So I'm hoping it's just going to be a case of a dirty cap or something. Cap looks like brand new, of course it does. Nightmare. What about the rotor arm? It's quite clean. Let's give it more of a clean though. Thing is though, when it ran, I mean it definitely ran on 4 when it ran. Did not just run on 2. So I can't really see the points. Can't see the point. Can't see the points. So I need to put my periscope down there, aka my mobile phone. Oh no! Oh god, it's got a make-believe ignition. Oh, is that one of those AccuSpark things? I think it is, you know. Oh no. Those AccuSpark thing, I can feel there's movement in it as well. Right, okay. I mean, inside there it's fine. Inside the distributor cap, good as gold. So let's just pop it all back together and then we'll try her again, but with a better battery, one that is attached to a Jaguar, and see if that gives it a little bit of extra boost to make those plugs spark. Spark plugs are back in, and if you're wondering what this big red bulbous thing is doing, he's trying to get a Lotus Elite to run in Derby. This boat tank though is, I've attached it to this and I've just sort of primed it up because I don't know how good this fuel is. That fuel might be well gone off. I don't know how long it's been in there, just know no history about it. So again, I've filled it up with this stuff, which I know is fresh, and I'm just going to try it again. Jump lead's hooked up. Oh, sun's just come out. Come on, baby. Come to life. Come back to Cheshire with me. I'll look after you, I promise. Oh, she wants to live, I'm sure of it. Oh, come on. Come on, gently, come on, gently. Oh! She doesn't like the choke at all. Come on, baby, come on, gently does it, gently does it. Gently does it, come on. Nice and steady. I'm here for you, come on. Come on, I'm here for you, let's go, let's go. Come on, come on. Come on! Clear your throat, come on! She's running, she is running. I was just getting her up to 2,500 then, just trying to keep her going. But she is running. Got good oil pressure. Doesn't look like she's charging though. Look at that, she's going, but she sounds better and better. Oh, look at that, bit of fire. I think the timing's off. I can feel like, I just feel like the timing's off, and someone's been messing about with this distributor. It's not I mean, with that stuff in it as well, it just doesn't feel right. Or, I mean, 1 and 3 weren't sparking, so that might just be it's building up a bit too much fuel and then it's sparking through. I don't know. Or it's a valve that's sticking. I don't know. So she's running on 4 there. She's a rattly old girl though. I think there's a tensioner down here that I can just hear rattling, or maybe it's the water pump, I don't know. Before it gets too much hotter though, I'm going to fill this up with water. Alright, come on, have a drink. Have some of this. So many people in the last video said, you haven't put any water in it. You need to put water in it. Why haven't you put any water in it? They obviously missed the part where I put water in it. Because I did put water in it. It's on the video. So why didn't they watch it? And then why did they comment saying I didn't? Well, I did. Done this before, you know. I know it doesn't look like I've done it before, but I've done it before. Can't believe how sweetly she's just sitting there idling though. I'd love to see if she runs off her own fuel, and for that I need Joe. See that plug?
Yeah.
That just plugs into there, yeah?
Yeah.
Dead easy. And you have to listen out for me, I'm going to shout when I need you to plug it in. Okay, you ready? Right, plug it in. So I want to see if that's going to run off the fuel that it's got in the tank. I don't know anything about that fuel, but I guess we're going to find out. Might not have been good enough to start her, but potentially good enough to make a run. So over here, so at the moment, because of the jag, we've got 13.2, which is not as much as I thought. If I take that off, it's going down, so the alternator is not working on this old bus. And I can sort of tell it's not working as well, because the volt gauge does seem to be working but isn't moving. Oil pressure seems to be working. Don't know about anything else. It's a bit of an old trick. Sometimes this works. It does sound to me as though the timing's really off. Also, people comment things like, you should do it on its side and stuff so it doesn't splash and things. I'm doing it one-handed so you can see. Can't do it, you do it sideways. You know, your wrists are that strong, what have you been doing? There's water. There's water violently spraying out of the water pump. Quite badly. It's not ideal, is it? There's water, I don't know how well you can see, but literally pouring out of that water pump, which is probably why there's no water in it. It just pours out again when you put it in. She does seem to be running a lot better, but I'm pretty sure the timing is out, and I need to find out exactly where that's supposed to go as well. It's not a vacuum or anything, so I don't think there's anything to worry about, but she is running kind of okay though. I just think the timing's just slightly out of whack, ever so slightly. I'm ignoring everything else while I think about everything else, and I'm getting Joe to pump the brake pedal, and I just want to see what happens to this fluid that I've just put in. I can see some bubbles coming out. Can you see that? How's that feeling, Joe? Just going all the way to the floor? It is it? I don't even think it's drinking it. Will she run and drive? She's like a brand new one, if you don't mind all the water spraying onto the out of the water pump, but she's fine. She does run and drive. Quite nice actually, but I've got to leave her here. Gonna have to go and get the trailer. She'll boil over so fast with that water pump like it is. It's pouring out. Nothing's going to stop that. So let's get her parts up. So will it run and drive? Well, the answer's yes, because it just has. Look, I've done it. But I'm not going to be able to make it home in it. Not just for the water reason. I can't get new tyres, and these aren't even, believe me, if there was even a tiny little chance that they would make it home, I would do it. But there's air pouring out of one of them, and the cracks are huge. They will just disintegrate as soon as you do more than 10 miles an hour in it. So I just wouldn't be that comfortable with doing it. And the brakes, I imagine I can just sort of bleed them or something. Again, I don't know why it's not got any brake fluid in it. But what I need to do now is to gather it onto the trailer. So we're going to go back to the workshop. It's only a couple of hours away. Back to the workshop, get the trailer, load this thing up, and then take her back home. And then once she's there, we've got to look at a water pump. We've got to look at the brakes. We've got to find out why she's coughing. I think the timing's just slightly out. We've got to sort that out. And when that's done, I mean, I think this is ready for the road. It's a proper smart little car. I'm not going to keep this one though, because I've already got that blue one that I've fallen in love with. I don't need a yellow one as well. This is going to be for one of you guys, because I've got one, and then one of you could have one as well. But anyway, let me make it work first, eh? Work nicely. So back to base, hire a van, because my Land Rover is still having a clutch done 3 weeks later. Nice one. There's an XYZ switch that's gone wrong with it, and they're trying to make that work again, so that's why it's still there. So I'm going to hire a van, which is why we didn't come down with a trailer now, and then chuck this on the back of it and then get it back to base. I got up this morning and remembered that I own a 1969 Ford F-250 that I could use to pick this car up instead of my Land Rover, which isn't here, or hiring that van that I sometimes hire. And another thing happened. During the night, I sold the Beetle. Got rid of the Beetle to a guy called John, and he is not far away from where this Lotus is that I need to pick up. So instead of me going down with an empty trailer, and to make a bit of space here, I'm going to take the Beetle down to him, and then we'll pick the Lotus up on the way back. But because there's cars coming out of my ears, the first thing I had to do was just have a big shuffle of everything and move everything around and create some space to bring this yellow Lotus back. I've got to pick the blue Lotus up from A51 and get all the other cars ready to start working on those as well. There we are then. She's all strapped down. Big old Yankee truck is hooked up. This is going to cost me an absolute fortune in fuel. My 5.9 litre V8. But let's hit the road. This old rig will pull a house down. It is a powerful old beast. It does do about 8 to the gallon though, but that's fine. I would have to hire a van and I'd have to pay fuel for that as well, so it works out. Let's just take this, and this thing does need a run as well. It's a good old truck, it'll be fine. And yeah, I know it is sad to see that Beetle go. I do understand that, and there's going to be so many people in the comments going, oh no, I was really looking forward to seeing that restored, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. I get it, but as you can see here, I mean, it's a restoration too far for the channel. When I do other sort of quite in-depth stuff, like with the Rascal and the Spitfire, they're cars that I was really sort of drawn to and stuff that I really had big reasons to you know, restore and stuff. And unfortunately this Beetle isn't one of them. Originally I was keeping it for my missus, for her to sort of have, because she's always liked these things, but her car recently failed its MOT and she now wants a new Beetle convertible. That's what she wants. That's her, so she won't stop talking about it. That's the car that she wants. This thing is just not going to be the right car for her to drive around in, and I can't afford to put all those hundreds and hundreds of hours of, you know, and videos that you guys, unfortunately, they'll dwindle off. The 5th video for the BMW got sort of, you know, 40,000, 50,000 views, which just doesn't pay the bills. I have to do stuff that is a bit more interesting for the majority of people, which is rescuing cool things like this Lotus. And I'm hoping and praying to God that's going to be the sort of car that I can turn around in a week or two, you know. And like the other stuff that I've got going on, the MG, BGT, the Golf, you know, these other things, the Plymouth, that sort of stuff, cars that I can turn around a bit easier. But that Beetle just needs a real in-depth restoration and tons of money spending on it. It's just too much. But my job of getting that thing rescued from the hands of the scrap man, which I did because it was in a scrapyard when I got it, and now it's going to somewhere who is a Volkswagen sort of expert, has a load of these things and can really truly give it the time and attention that it deserves. And he wouldn't have done that if I hadn't have spent ages applying for the logbook, getting it where it runs and drives absolutely fine, you know. My job here is done with that car, and I'm glad that you have enjoyed watching it, and I really appreciate the sentiment of you wanting to see it restored. And ideally, if I had a big team of people working for me, I could do it. But you know, this isn't Gas Monkey Garage, is it? You know what I mean? It's just little old me with the occasional bits of help from Rob and Rob from A51. So yeah, anyway, let's hit the road. Let's go and drop this thing off and pick up the Lotus. One thing as well that may not immediately be apparent because of all the cars and stuff that I've got round my ears and all that type of thing, but the fact that I bought this Lotus, and I did it by accident, it cost me 1,760 quid. I've got to bring some cash in to pay for that, and moving that Beetle on has nearly paid for that. It's 1,400 quid I've sold it for, back in the bank, which is sorely needed. But if you guys want to help out the channel in any way, there's a few things that you can do, and the completely cost-free one is to hit the subscribe button. It would massively help me if you hit the subscribe button and you want to see me get these old cars back to life. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do. I sell lots of really cool merch. I sell lots of fun stickers and t-shirts and just all sorts of other bits and bobs. You can go to this address and you can pick some of those things up, and that does really help as well. We did this cool Austin sticker recently, which is just about to be put on a t-shirt as well, and they might be on the website by the time this video comes out. I'm not sure, but we'll try and do it because the delivery of those is imminent and the t-shirts look really, really cool. Here is a very quick snapshot of the 25-26 sticker book, which is going to come out at the end of the year. and it means that this 24-25 sticker book that is currently out, that is good. Once they're gone, they're gone. We're not going to reprint any more of those. Once they are gone, they are gone. On the website as well, you will see a link to some of the car raffles, and these are the cars that I have finished and I have taken over the line and put that time into, and they're ready for you to come down and drive away. And if you want to buy a raffle ticket to win one of those and come down to the workshop and see me and pick up a merch bundle and all that sort of stuff, it might only cost you £1. And this Lotus, at the end of this video, I'm hoping is going to be in a position, once we've had a look underneath anyway, where I'm confident enough that one of you guys could win that car, come down, pick it up and drive it away. And the last way that you could possibly help the channel with your financials is by joining the Patreon. I do have a Patreon. The Patreon does help out massively with cash flow, like putting £100 of petrol in a pickup truck to do a journey that would take a normal car about 30 quid. There's a link in the description that takes you to a Patreon website where you can join up, and on there are loads of other videos where you see behind the scenes of me going to collect the car, where I talk a little bit more about that and sort of just the initial stages of me going to get these cars before the sort of resurrection video comes out, so you know about things well beforehand. And we have a little bit of a chat on there and stuff as well, and occasionally I'll ask for input regarding thumbnails and things like which one do you think's best and little stuff like that really. But it's a very nice little community that you can join just to get that extra bit of stuff if you do want it. And again, you don't have to do any of this. Everything I do is for free. You can all you have to do is sit through a few adverts. But if you do want to spend a little bit of money and see a bit more stuff, the Patreon is a great way to do it. And what I do on this channel is I thank all of the brand new Patreons that have joined up since the last resurrection car by putting their names on the side of the car that I'm working on in this video, which is this beautiful yellow Lotus. much better access now the bonnet and stuff's out the way. And the plot, I mean, she's so bloody thick, almost as thick as the underseal on this thing. This is my cool blue one here. And I checked this morning and you can see the gap between that tyre there is sort of like it's a couple of things. And the yellow one is just not like that. So there's something up there. But the plot gets even thicker. Cheshire Tyres came yesterday. He was waiting for me when I got back with the Lotus and the truck, so we stayed a little bit late and we shod this beautiful old thing with a brand new set of dynamos. Really, really nice, brand new set of tyres. All absolutely perfect, and all the wheels and stuff do rotate really nicely. But the front ones do rotate a little bit too nice. What's going on there? Well, this car was never, ever going to run and drive home. It didn't have any brake pads in it. They've taken the brake pads out, just I'd imagine to get this car to roll properly. The brake pads have been removed, which is mad, isn't it? But not only that, some brake pipes are missing. I get the feeling that this car had been halfway through or getting very close to a proper restoration, because it's really nice in a lot of areas. The paintwork, I mean, it's a bit dirty now, but the paintwork is so, it's an awesome job. The car used to be red. It's red on the logbook, but it's been painted yellow and it's really good. It's a really, really nice job. New badges and stuff. I'd imagine there's been a few quid thrown at this car. But they've obviously got to a point where, for whatever reason, that's stopped. Over here, I've got a brand new alternator that was delivered to me while we were away, a brand new cam belt and an oil filter. Before we do anything else with brakes or anything like that, let's just try and make this engine run sweetly. I don't think the spark is that good, so we need to sort of have a look at that there, but it was sparking, and I drove it onto the trailer yesterday, or drove up the first little bit of the trailer yesterday. You can also see here, that says Luminition, so I think this is our, sparky spark thing. And again, it might work, it just might, the voltage might have not been right or whatever. And obviously if the timing's not right, it's not gonna go anyway. So I need to have a look through this thing properly, really. Before I do anything like that though, we need to get this thing up in the air. I want to have a proper look underneath it and just see what this chassis is like and see if I can find out why that wheel's so forward, why the wheels aren't why they're all doing this. We need to have a bit of a look. I want to see if we've, got an auction win here or an auction lose. She's still puking water out, that's good, isn't it? We've got the most underseal in the world underneath this car, and my initial eyes are initialed on this here, which, I know a little bit about these now that I've sort of spent a bit of time looking, and these are apparently one of the first places that these rust, because a lot of water sort of gathers behind here and stuff, and yeah, not so nice. I can see that has been welded. And I think an issue is if you weld that in the wrong place, your wheel's not going to line up properly. Radiator looks absolutely superb. You can see the water pouring out of the water pump there as well. That nut there is not on properly. This is all a bit weird. Brake pipe sort of hanging off there. If anybody recognises this car or knows the history about it, then just let me know, because I'm so intrigued. The back end looks quite toasty, but not like terrible. Even the brake pipes and stuff don't look too bad. I mean, it looks, well, just, yeah, doesn't look, it looks like it's had work in the past. You can see evidence of some welding and stuff on these. That one looks like a good second-hand one. But yeah, there's no holes in anything. It's just not the best sort of shape-wise. But the back end is definitely not the problem. The back end looks very serviceable and usable. Absolutely no exhaust hangers either. I mean, I don't know what all that's about there, but it seems to have done the trick, doesn't it? But we have got some others. They're just, the exhaust's much further away than the other one. I don't know if they're going to work. Yeah, no exhaust hangers in the middle, but thankfully we have got some of those. Engine and gearbox wise, it does look really nice and clean. It looks like it's had work very, very recently, and it's had, quite decent work on the engine. you can see like these bushes and stuff are quite new, they've been changed, but you see all these bolts and things here, I mean, it's just not right. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to need to, you know, if we're going to carry on with this, I'm going to need to get all new bolt set for that. But I'm really hoping it's just going to be something to do with this sort of setup here. I mean, look at that bolt there, awful. And that there, I don't know what's been going on with that, but that's no dice. This is the crowbar of truth, and might not be as bad as we first thought. I've been stabbing away at that there, and it's solid just underneath that sort of underseal or whatever, so it looks like it has been welded on properly, I hope, because when I put the bar in here, it did what I was hoping it would do, which is move all the way. If I get a couple of new bottom arms and all the new bolts and stuff like that and bushes and whatever it needs, bolt it all back together, it might be all right. That might be all it needs on the front anyway, and then obviously some flexies and stuff, but that would be pretty cool. Before I do any of that though, let's try and make a run properly and make sure that this engine isn't toast. Seeing as it's literally a 2-minute job, I just swapped the alternator out for this nice shiny new one. And if you're wondering why you haven't seen me change the actual oil yet, it's because Napa didn't send me any oil. So it's on its way and it should be here soon, so we'll do an oil change when it arrives. But it's fine for the moment. It's got slippery black stuff in it. What's the worst that could happen? Anyway, the plot is thicker. You join me here at top dead center on number 1 cylinder, right? And then you have here these 2 dots, they are lined up. And you can see where it says in and X, it's supposed to say that as well. They're lined up, so cam wise, good. Down here, you've got this notch here. Is supposed to be, I mean 12 is where it says, but that's sort of fine there. That'll run nicely there-ish. This though, you've got 2 like ways to time this, and this cog here controls your distributor, right? See, it's attached to the back of the distributor over there, and I think this is what's out of whack. So you've got that in where it says in, and there's a dot there. If you draw, like, let me just try and rest that torch there. If you draw an imaginary line going from the middle of your crank all the way up like that, right there should be in. Okay, so you should have that dot somewhere around there, and that one should be further in, more like sort of that bit there. So I think our distributor timing is out, which would make total sense. It's very comfortable to work on this car because of that sort of very sloped, comfortable chair bit. To help sort of demonstrate it better, see how you've got inlet, exhaust, dots are there, and see that line? That's supposed to go through that dot there, down into the crankshaft pulley. So I think this is what's off, and you've got another mark there that should be sort of in there. So I think, yeah, this is our problem. And that distributor does rotate, okay, on its sort of base. There's this fastening nut here. It's quite a common distributor, this as well. So if it starts to give us any drip with these points, I'll just buy a new distributor and bang that in. But yeah, I need to undo this and try and see if I can rotate this distributor, because right now I can't, and it would be nice if I could. And then we'll move it a bit and try and fire it up again and just sort of keep doing that while we're trying to make it run and see if we can get it to a place where it sings nicely. And the carbs look really nice and clean and stuff, so I'm just rotated it a little bit now, and I'm just going to keep doing that and trying to fire her up. Certainly started a lot nicer, didn't she? It's not warmed up either because I've not had a run in. So it would be nice to have a warmed up before we time it all properly. But to warm it up, you've got to run it. I have a large amount of fire there. I think that fuel pump is a bit sketchy. So as we did when we were sort of out in the field, it's one of those things, isn't it, with us not knowing the state of the fuel in the tank and how long it's been in there and how much water it's mixed with and anything else that people may have done to it. Like when I'm trying to get the car to run properly, it's sort of ideal that there would be nice clean fuel in it. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Any second now. Oh, there we go. Look at it splurge. Just sort of priming it to get all the air. Oh, there we go. Get all the air out there. Spill a load of petrol on the floor. And then hopefully fill these carbs up. Let's try that again. I thought I could get it just by sort of moving it round, but I can't. So what I've had to do is put number 1 at top dead center again and just sort of again checking, making sure everything lines up as best as it can. Again, that doesn't. So what I want to now do is see, so that is number 1 lead, right? And number 1 lead goes to here. So when I pull this out now, you should see the rotor arm pointing to that. And it's pointing right there. That should be where this thing fires off enough for us to sort of set it properly with a gun and stuff. We should be good to go in that position. You know, things aren't going well when the little fuel pump comes out, but I'm just trying my best to get some like fuel pressure and stuff because this bulbous unit doesn't seem to be sort of delivering the goods really. It's just not letting anything through. Now I know the water pump's knackered, but we're going to have to cover ourselves in water and the floor anyway because I need to try and get this thing to run properly. It's getting close though. Water is just pouring out of that water pump now really, really badly. I mean, it's still going to be spinning round, but it's really bad. Okay, well, I've just learnt a couple of things. Number 1, spark plug lead is off and she's running like that. And I've hooked the timing light up and it was only flashing every now and then. It wasn't sparking all the time. So that distributor is kaput. That whole lumination thing, kaput. Need new one. And then run better. So that is our problem, and that's why occasionally we're getting a backfire because it's just sparking at the wrong time and it's just blowing stuff back through. But doing what I've done there, I know that engine is good. That is a good solid engine. When it did run right and rev up, it sounded mint. And the carbs all seem to be good and doing what they should be doing. Great stuff. But I need to order some parts. First part I need to order is a bloody water pump, isn't it? Look at the state of the floor. I've just had a great chat with Archie from Lotus Parts, and he's helped me out massively with all this. He's sending me a rebuild kit for the water pump because getting new ones of them is a little bit tougher. I pulled the nuts off the anti-roll bar and the threads are still okay, but these are all crazy, aren't they? So he's sending me all new bushes and stuff for these, everything that I need, which is going to be awesome. The only problem is I've got to wait for it all. It's Tuesday morning and I'm in civilian attire, and the reason for that is that I'm about to drive to Rugby to buy parts for this car. I don't know if it's just me, but it's like the postal service, like nowadays, just so much worse than it used to be. It's like terrible. I ordered spark plugs for that thing ages ago and loads of other stuff, and for the blue one as well, loads of parts, and just haven't arrived. Just, you know, the parcel's out there somewhere, it's on its way, I don't know. It's fine. I feel a rant coming on. No more rants. So I'm going to get in the red car there, and we're going to hit the road and we're going to go to Lotus Bits. On the way, 1 hour 59 to go, making use of the new stereo system we installed in this thing, my 911. In the last video. It's always a bit of a pain in the arse when you're just sort of up against it with time-wise to get parts and stuff, but it does kind of make it more fun and more like it's a mission, I've got to get it done. I tend to work best under pressure as well, and it's funny, you know, doing all these parts, it should take, to do the kind of jobs that we're doing on these cars, should take a long time. You take it steady, take it easy, take it slowly, but we've just got to get it done. We have to get it done. And it's funny, I was speaking to Archie from Lotus Bits and he goes, oh, it's a good idea when you're doing the water pump rebuild, if you get the housing soda blasted. And I was like, I haven't got time to get anything soda blasted. Where do you think I'm going to go to that? I haven't got time for any of that. I'm going to do it all in, I'm going to come in at 6 o'clock in the morning and that water pump needs to be back in the car by 9. But it's fine. Stress levels are minimum. Anyway, let's just get there. I might get a Greg's on the way. It's a good day. So this is the M6 toll road, which is the British equivalent of the German Autobahn, but it does cost to go down it, and you have to pay at these little booths. But what you do get for your money also is you get to see what the performance of your car is like when you exit the booth, which is the most fun thing in the world. And seeing as we're in a Porsche 911 Carrera 2S, let's see what she can do. I did get a Greg's, so just got a coffee and a bacon bap. It was delicious. It's weird as well, isn't it? It's illegal to be on your phone while you're driving unless they want money from you, and then it's legal. Weird that, isn't it? Like, it's not dangerous now when I'm paying this legally, like they want you to do. How strange is that? Anyway, here we go. It would appear as though I've arrived. I can tell that mainly because of this absolutely stunning JPS Esprit here. Oh my gosh, look at that car. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. That one's not too bad as well. But yeah, do loads of stuff there. This is all a bit of like, they do a lot of mechanical work and restoration and stuff as well. But for me today, it's picking up parts, and that's something. They break a load of these cars. They've got a load of stuff like brand new, and they make a lot of stuff as well, like water pump housings and things, and just loads of cool bits to keep these cars on the road, which is very, very important. And I should have a box somewhere waiting for me. This thing in here as well. Look at this. Just absolutely immaculate. Oh yes! Look at that thing. So what did you say this was, an investor special?
Yeah, 50 cars. They were special for the American market. So
oh man. Look at that phone. Yeah, left hooker. Dead smart. Archie's got me a big box of bits. Look at all that stuff there. This is what we need. Look at all that. Yeah. Fingers crossed this is going to get us back on the road, isn't it? What did we find with this? Is that a points
So that's
one?
that's a really early original points distributor in decent condition, rotates nicely.
Nice.
And in that bag just in there you've got your new condenser points, everything there to change it out.
Mega.
Obviously once that's set up I think that'll be alright for you.
And that's the water pump rebuild kit in there?
Yeah, we just need to print off some instructions for you, but that's everything in there. We have all those bits made just down the road in an engineering place.
Absolutely super.
Everything there that we talked about.
The only thing with this is that mine's not a vacuum advanced distributor.
No, so, yeah, some of them were, and most of the early ones did.
Right, okay.
But, like I say, it will still work perfectly decently as a normal distributor.
Just sort of get it all nicely timed up. But I think that's
Yeah, obviously a new rotor arm in there. So
I was going to say you've got a cap in there as well.
Yeah, and a new cap for you as well.
Absolute perfection. Yeah, I just want to change everything that's on mine. It's all a bit sketchy, like it wobbles around inside and stuff. So
yeah, it's everything's there for you.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Right, let's get in the car. Everything there to get us back on the road and to sort this car out. You know, there's a lot of stuff there. 471 quid. But yeah, very, very reasonable. 50 quid for a distributor as well. A proper, you know, decent original Lucas one. Better than getting a Chinese one and chucking that on it. Hopefully should make this thing sing nicely. So yeah, 471 quid. If you fancy buying some raffle tickets for this car, or it is up for raffle by the way, there's a link in the description. I think I've forgotten to mention that so far in the video. Or buy some merch or something, that'd really help, because this stuff is expensive and I've had to take a day out today to come down and get it, you know. Petrol for this, which, you know, 18 to the gallon, it's not cheap. Could get more than that out of it, but no.
The chrome trim that goes around it, yeah.
So we're in the place where these engines come to life. Nose cone should be down there, and it's not, because that's where it gets bolted on so it fits in the trailer. Archie's just sold me. Who doesn't love a little Citroen race car? Yep.
So, sunbeam.
Oh, look at this thing here. What a cool bit of kit. And this is our engine.
So this is it's based on a 912, and this has got well over 300 horsepower, you know, around 15 brake horsepower.
Nice.
We have our own engine dyno on site, so all the power figures that we usually give, we like to think are as accurate as possible because it's tested on site.
Wow.
And yes, it's a 2.6 litre. So it's like I say, sunbeam on top, but underneath we've got a Lotus XL chassis. So the XLs that you see, the red ones, underneath.
That's an XL.
So XL suspension. The only thing that's changed is that they've, like I say, the wheels have moved.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they don't stay on it. It didn't stay. That's
Obviously,
nuts.
it's been fabricated in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's based on an XL underneath. And this has been a competition car for years. But it's the power figures that they've pushed out of the engines that's just, I think.
So what is this then?
The actual horsepower is,
yeah.
I'd say around 315, 320 horsepower.
Bloody hell.
It's a fully sequential gearbox.
Oh, sick. It's not a nice set of throttle bodies and stuff. It's just awesome, isn't it? Really cool.
Piece of kit, it really is. And we've got matching car again. So exactly the same. Mike and Kathy both rally these cars.
Oh, nice.
So they rally together. Obviously, Kathy being noticeably purple.
Yeah, that's
seeing
awesome.
them go around together has always been really good.
Yeah. So do they go out in these quite often, do they?
Yeah, they're doing more sprinting now, but these are very much rally cars.
Nice.
So they are competition cars.
Very cool. And loads of engine and gearbox setups and stuff lying around.
Yeah, more single-seater stuff. This isn't quite the Lotus scene, but what Mike wants to do is he wants to mount a 900 series Lotus engine into the back of a single-seater race car.
Nice, okay.
Thing.
Wow.
So this is the early development of that.
That's where the engine goes on the single-seater race car, look.
With the suspension all mounted up on the sides and everything. So.
How cool. Archie's just taken me up to the clean engine building room. This is where it all goes on, and showing me this thing here. That is super nice. Very smart thing. Weird how it bolts onto the hoist as well. That's pretty cool, isn't
absolutely.
it?
That's made the job easier.
Yeah.
You have to fully rotate round.
Yeah, that's really smart. Yeah, I love it. So we've got to get in here all tomorrow when we get back and sort our water pump out. But yeah, really nice.
So this is a good example of the detail that we go to with these engines. We clean up everything, you know, completely from internally, all surfaces.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you someone wanted their engine rebuilding, you just take it and rebuild it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So like I say, if we're someone calls us, wants a 2.5 litre engine, add them to the list. You know, there'll be a lead time, then we get their donor engine a lot of the time to use the parts and recondition stuff. Then if something's too far gone, then we can get something out of the stores, you know, off another donor engine, and recycle parts like that and keep them going.
This is where everything gets all clean and tidied up, and Archie's just telling me that they have a little sort of test station where they will run the engines up and just make sure everything's good, and he's got a little video of that happening here. Might as well get a little bit of sun on the skin for the way home, innit? What a great little place that is. Excuse me. Businesses like that, I could go to day in, day out. They are absolutely superb. There's tons of employees there, all so enthusiastic about their jobs, and they're loving keeping these cars on the road, and not just keeping them on the road, but making them better, advancing them, improving them, but keeping these physical things alive. I've got so much time for it. What a great company. If you need any bits for your Lotus, I suggest you go there. Right, I need to get back to the workshop. I was in at 7 AM this morning just getting this cam belt replaced before I do anything, using the tried and tested method of cutting the old one in half, lengthways, and then sliding the new one over it. I've then rotated the engine about 30 times just to make sure that everything still lines up. And until the bottom crank pulley's on, I don't really know about that mark, but I can guess it's pretty much okay. And the top marks and stuff are all good. So now I'm just going to work on getting this very sad. Get this water pump out, rebuild it and replace it. Don't for a moment though think that this means that I do cam belts on this channel. I'm doing this cam belt because this is a very cam belty engine and I'm in there anyway. Getting very close to get this water pump off though. The only problem is there's one bolt there that I can't get to because this pulley's in the way, so I'm gonna have to think of something how to do that maybe. If you can't get your socket on, make your socket smaller. Just grind off a bit of your socket, look. And it's fine. There you go. Nobody can tell it's a 10mm anymore. Right, this should come off now, dead easy. There we are. Then this crustacean-like thing, which, you know, all the water channels, that it's not actually in that bad nick. I mean, I think we flushed it quite a lot, seeing as most of that water ended up on the floor that we were putting in. But there's no gasket on this thing. It's just got a sealant on it like an RTV. Here's the sort of full assembly, and yeah, there's no gasket. But you can see this thing is knackered, and I remember when we first started it up and it was just like rattly, not the cam belt tensioner, which is probably good news, but I've got to work out how to change this now. I've done this before on the Viking, so it's not the end of the world. That's the seal that's gone, so I've just got to get stuck into it really. But I've kind of only got one shot really for this video anyway of getting this right, and then it's just a case of putting the new distributor on, putting the new HT leads on, new spark plugs because they've now arrived, loads of other stuff like that, and then it should run beautifully. And if we can try and make that alternator work as well. I think it's not working at the moment because there's no exciter light on the dash, so it's not switching the alternator on, which means the other one was probably fine, but we've put a nice new one on it anyway. It wasn't too expensive. that went better than expected. So this is the old one, and it is, well, it's toast, isn't it? There's a seal here, which I've got, which goes where the impeller is, and then you've got to get this into the shaft and then build it all up into the housing, sorry, build it all up. This is a special tool from them to be able to do all of these actions, which is great. But yeah, just nerve-wracking, because if that body cracks or snaps or anything, which is what I thought would happen, then it's game over, isn't it? You're looking at a few £100 then for another one, replacement one. Anyway, next stage. A new seal in place with a little bit of RTV, which is recommended in the instructions from Lotus Bits, just to help it seal. Going awfully well so far. Apart from getting that thing off, that was a pain in the ass. Quite possibly one of the most stressful things I've ever done, but it is done and it looks beautiful. So we now have a water pump that should hopefully not leak like the other one did. Now that was very stressful. I'm going to have my dinner and 7 cigarettes, and then I'm going to rebuild the car, the front, and hopefully everything should be okay. All this bit's all built up. If you're really fussy, you could do with a new fan belt pulley on the water pump belt pulley, because it's a little bit skew-if, because problem with metric and not metric, and the bolts for the new thing, they didn't match, so I had to find other bolts. But by the time I'd done that, I'd made a mess of things. So I could have done with knowing that. That's the only thing I'd be wary of if you're going to use that water pump rebuild kit, is that the bolts don't match for that. I learned the hard way then. Anyway, new plugs, whoa, shiny. They're about to go into the engine ×4. Now finally, old oil go bye-bye, and we'll put new, fresh, swanky oil in. Look at that, it's such good condition. Only a handful of large metal flakes, it's great. I'm joking, of course. We're flying with this thing now. I've just got to sort the ignition side of things out. Ooh, lovely stuff. Very, very nice. Bit of an awkward oil filter to sort of get out this, because I think whatever way you're going to do it, you're going to get oil everywhere, aren't you? Because it's on its side. Imagine that. Oil filtro. And it's just sort of like pouring out. But I've put a cloth there. Not too bad. Seem to have got away with that. Before I top the oil up, get some of this blueberry aid in there so it can start burping through the system. Actual coolant, not just water. Bloody hell. Nice bit of 20W50, squeeze it in. This is the 25D distributor I got from Lotus Bits. I've just put that new rotor arm on there. That didn't come with that, it came with this. What the hell is that? Crazy. Anyway, they have furnished me with new points and a condenser, which is just a couple of screws there, and I've just got to sort of gap these all nicely. Can you see it open there? So I've just got to gap that to that sort of gap when it's on the highest point of the cam, like there. And then fit that into the car with these brand new, really smart HT leads. And I've got to feed it power also. And it's this Lumination box box of tricks that it gets a lot of its power from. And I mean, ooh, saying that, look at that there, that's a bit rough, isn't it? And if maybe that was shorting on something, or it doesn't look interesting. It's still attached. put. That might have been shorting on something. That looks like... Oh, I wonder if this is okay. I wonder if we should just try this and try and clean up that bit of wiring there. Look at that. Well, if it saves me having to like completely remove the distributor and stuff, probably could try it, couldn't we? Because it was not firing on number 1 cylinder. I like points though, because you just know where you are with points. Okay, let me have a look. As you can see there, I've just done a very quick sort of shoring up of those wires. Because if that was our fault, it'd be grand, wouldn't it? And I'm going to try and fire her up now. Hopefully it'll go on 4, because if it does, all that stuff over there that I've bought, I can save either for my blue one or I can just save for a future car, because those Lucas 45s, they're in tons of stuff. So that's going to come in handy. That can sit on the shelf. Nice new distributor with all new bits. Anyway, right, and it saves me having to chop and change wiring and stuff in here if it all works. Right, fuel pump's on. Not forgetting anything, am I? We all there? It's a lot better than it was. I think I fixed it. Let's get the timing light out again. That is now a constant flash, whereas I was only getting one every other sort of second. I don't know if you can see it better down there or something. Can you see that flash? That's your spark, and that's why it's purring like a kitten. But the timing's not quite right. Let's try and sort it. See that there? That's a little white dot where I put where it's supposed to be timed, and 12 is about there. So let's see if I can pull that over. Okay, slide down here. This won't hurt. And there you go, that's about 12 there. It should go back to 12, there we go. I put these filters on because someone commented on my blue Lotus video that these things run better with these filters on. And I've also connected its original fuel supply back up, and she's just... I mean, she sounds like she's going like the clappers. She's definitely running on 4. She sounds really, really good. Really, really good. It's backfiring a touch and it bogs down a touch, so I think it could probably be leaned out a little bit as well, but I don't particularly want to do that. I'd like to sort of get it on the road and stuff and really have a bit of a play with it and learn a bit more about these Delautos first, but it sounds really good. I think it's going to go really well, this. Dead pleased with it. I'm not a trained mechanic and I've never claimed to be, and I'm dead pleased with, like, my skill set's improving massively. to get this thing just ticking over like it is. I've got to get this alternator charging properly. It's not. There's no exciter light on the dash and I need to sort that. Might be dead easy, might not be. So I need to have a little look into that. And then put the bonnet back on, put a few other bits back on, and then we're onto brakes and the wishbones and stuff then. Oh, so pleased with how this has gone so far. She just sounds amazing. Listen to her tick over. What a dream. That is a really good little engine. Really good little engine. But yeah, possibly running a tiny bit rich. I just don't want to mess about with it. I am tempted though. But I'll have a little read up on these Lotus tonight and see how you adjust the mixture and stuff on them, and I might have a play with it tomorrow. Because remember, she didn't want to run on choke, so I think she's already quite rich, and then when you put the choke on, she's just so rich she won't run properly. That's why it's spitting a bit of fuel back out and stuff. So yeah, she might need leaning out. I love it. I am waiting for the fan to kick in though. It's got one of these fangled things on and it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I just want to have a little bit of a play with that. I'm getting excited, but the car is not. So you see where that bulb's missing from there? That is the ignition light, which is that one there. And that's what should come on when this bulb here, when you switch the ignition on, and that turns the alternator on and makes it charge the battery. And the bulb actually looks fine, but I'm going to see if I can replace it now and then see if anything changes. Okay, so I think I have fixed that. We now have ignition lights, and then when you switch it on and you give it a rev, rev counter works as well, which is cool. The only problem is I'm not showing any volts on here, which is just, I don't know, it's not right, that, is it? It should be showing volts. I don't know why. I wonder if there's something going on there, but anyway, whatever. Oil pressure goes up with a bit of revving, and the temperature's holding fierce as well, so that's really good. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with all that there. It's good enough to get you or I down the road, I know that much. And I've checked the battery and it is charging there, so I don't know. Well, let's go from there. What about these lights? Do these work yet? Have these magically fixed themselves? I mean, they're on, but they don't go up and down. Oh, flash and everything seems to work quite nicely. That's pretty good. No horn either. No windscreen washers. And the wiper don't work either. Does anything work? Hazards work. That's all that matters, isn't it, really, on one of these? What about this? Oh, it works. We got hot. Oh my God, we've got hot heaters. Oh yes, winter is coming and we are going to be hot to trot. This thing is ready for the south of France, man. What about this? No way the stereo works. I can't believe it, we got tunes. And they're not even that bad. That was Robbie Williams. Where's the speakers? I don't even know where the speakers are. How good is that? We've got tunes, man. Got tunes and 4 cylinders. I'm dead excited about that. Cassettes. Yeah, cassette player works. This thing's amazing. Should I keep this one instead of the blue one? I don't know, I probably shouldn't keep this one. Can't wait to send it down the road though, it's going to be dead cool. But first we're going to need brakes and we're going to need like bottom arms. I've just put all new brake gubbins in this, new pads, new slider pins, little holdy on bits, that sort of stuff. And I'm about to put the flexi on and I tried to take the bleed nipple off this caliper and it just blew to pieces. It died, which is often the way. So that's a bit of a palaver. I could try and drill it out, maybe see if I've got another one in stock, but I think these calipers are going to be toast anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything together and I'm going to see, because I don't even know if the master cylinder works. I don't think it does. So I'm just going to put everything together and see if we get any fluid out of it and that sort of stuff. Nice new braided flexi installed, but there's nothing that holds it sort of in place. So I'm going to have to do some little bit of research to find out what it is that we're missing there. But for now, it's going to get us down the road. Almost exactly the same thing just happened on the other side. Who'd have thought it? I might just bite the bullet and get a couple of new calipers delivered, you know. Which means we won't have brakes for this video, but I'm just not sure if these are going to work. Days ticking on. I've been here for a long time today. Okay, keep going. This one's a bit nicer on this side. It's got its proper little hanger, which is cool. All brake pads and stuff in here as well. Super good. Both bleed nipples have gone on the calipers. I am going to have to get new calipers for this, but at least it's all together. It's nice to sort of put everything in place and stuff, like the pads and things, just to make sure everything fits, because I'm ordering stuff and it's going to arrive in the post. If I need anything else along the way, I'd rather know now than when I get it all, you know, like I should have done with these calipers. Anyway, I'm going to get the car further up in the air and I'm going to see if the back bleed nipples will undo, because there's potential we could have a little bit of foot brake, we could have some back brakes, which would at least get us around the yard, wouldn't it, you know? Ready? Yeah. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down, 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 down. The strangest thing has happened, but it's going to be very handy to get us around the yard. We've got front brakes. Don't know how, because they must be full of air, but are you off the brakes, Joe? So the calipers are a bit stuck on, but they just need to be sort of freed up. And then brake. You can see the movement and everything there as well, can't you? How much it does move. You've put hard down. Nice. And on. That's crazy. All I have to do now, tomorrow morning, is to completely renew everything on those bottom arms and try and get my head around that. Once I've done that, put the bonnet back on and the splash guard and stuff. We can get her outside and see what she's like. Like, what is all this? I think that's like something's been wedged in there, like a bit of wood or something, just to stop this arm moving forward. I mean, totally bizarre, but yeah, that looks like what's happened there. Anyway, this bolt is giving me jip. There's no nut on the other side of it. It just goes into this sort of captive thing here. So I've got to try and get this out, but it is locked solid, and I don't want to round it off or anything like that. It is just locked solid in there. Maybe that's why this was all going on with the bit of what looks like wood, because they struggled to get this bolt out. Do you remember when I got my new welder? That was from a company called SIP, and they're a great company, and I recommend you should go there and buy their products, because they're all great. And to prove how great they are, they've sent me another toy to play with. This sort of Ghostbusters looking ectoplasm type thing machine that I've got here is a bit of a lifesaver. I actually used it on the rear bleed nipple yesterday. I should have used it on the front, but I forgot that they sent me it. And it's sat in a box over there. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to try and use it on this bolt. I'm going to heat this bolt within an inch of its life, and then we're going to try and get it out. This is an induction sort of heater thing. You put that around the bolt and it glows red. That's the idea. And then you put this elegantly over your shoulder, like so. Switch it on. Let's try and make this bolt glow. So I'm simply going to place this over it, if I can, like so. It's a little bit tricky to sort of get in. There we go. And I just hold the button down. And let's see what happens. Let's see if it makes it super easy to get out. Something's on fire already. A lot of underseal and stuff around this as well, so I'm not entirely sure how this is going to sort of end up. I'm just going to keep my eye on everything, but as you can see, it's getting super smoky. Now, it's a really, really long, big, old bolt, this. So I don't know how long it's going to take. Ugh. No, maybe longer. What about if I do the back as well? I've got these other two fittings with it. I mean, I guess I could put that or that like that. That'd probably work, wouldn't it? And maybe on the back as well. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work better. So let's swap those out. Are they going to be hot? There we go. Just plug those new ones in, tighten these bits up. And let's start with this back one. Look at that. That is absolutely smoking. Bright cherry red hot. Right, any more and it's probably going to start to melt. Oh, this is so on there. Oh. 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 Why is it so tight? It's almost like it's been welded in place or something. Oh no, it's moving. Oh, it is moving. Wow, look at the heat of that. A bit more at the back. New by Chanel. Get your missus one of these for Christmas. Okay, well the worrying thing is there is that the front of the bolt's moving, but the back of the bolt isn't. I can see inside there, it's just like rusted solid. Ha! I was right, yeah. It's a bit of wood. Someone's just wedged a bit of wood in there. Insane. Okay. Oh, look at all that coming out of there. Oh, Jesus, this is possibly the worst bodge I've ever seen. And I've done a few good bodges in my time, but a bit of wood and a load of silicon. Can I see the bolt now, though? Oh God, yes I can, and it has, it's completely snapped. Oh wow, okay. This is really hard for me to show, but that bolt there is inside that sort of captive nut thing there on the inside, and then this one, you can see it's just, well, yeah, it's completely rotten solid. So I'm going to need to cut or drill or do something to get that out. The bottom arm looks in really good nick, thankfully, but I'm going to have to do loads of work to get this thing out. I don't even know what it's going to require because that is all mashed. So I don't even think I can unscrew that. I'm going to try. Talk amongst yourselves. This could take some time. Genuinely don't know what I'm going to do here. The drill is it's working, but so slowly. It's just really not having an effect. That bolt in there is made from super hard 70s steel, and like, I don't know if you can see it. Let's try and get the torch in there. Don't know how well you can see, but you can see where the bolt has snapped. It's one big long bolt that goes all the way through from one side to the other. And it's snapped in the middle, but it's rusted in such a way that this bit here, when I was turning it, I just couldn't get it past there. That little sort of captive bit there, I just couldn't get it past at all. So I can't get this bottom arm out That's locked solid in there. I just really don't know what to do. I can't get, you can't get an angle grinder, even if I stripped everything down, this box section here, you just can't get an angle grinder in there. You know, you can't weld a nut on that because it's not that that's the problem, it's this globule behind there that's not letting it pass through. I'm usually very good at getting myself out of situations like this, but I am stuck. And I think this is why this car was sort of laid up. Just because he's obviously tried everything, you know, bits of wood and, you know, all sorts of crap, silicone and things just to try and hold that bottom arm straight. And it's just not possible. And the other side's pretty much exactly the same, I think. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. I don't know what to do. Right, I need to think. But yeah, I think this is what, it must have got so far with the restoration, realised that this was just going to be a huge problem and then sort of stopped. Not the sort of thing you could do on your driveway, this really. I mean, you know, I don't know how to do it on my ramp. But, you know, if you're just someone who hasn't got the level of sort of tools and equipment that I have, you know, this could really stop you in your tracks. I've got the tools and equipment and it's stopping me in my tracks. Right, okay, let me think. It's the end of the second hour and it's just, everything's sort of stripped down and I've tied all this stuff up to get it out of the way. And you can see there, I don't know how well you can see, maybe that light's too bright, but it's just like this globule that I can't, and I'm trying to, I've got every tool in my arsenal. I've got the air hammer, I've got everything, and I'm just trying my best, and the air hammer won't push it through, and even if it does, it's going to hit on the other side of the bolt, which is all bent and knackered. And even if I did get that out, there's nothing I can really do. I can't get anything in there to cut it. This is a problem. This is a real problem. I'm really not sure what I can do here. This is going to take me hours and hours and hours. And I can't, like, this side here is so, like, enlarged with rust that it's not going to pass through that hole there to unwind it. It's got to come out sort of like this way, I think. I don't even know. I don't know. This is bonkers. Genuinely not come across anything like this before. Might get Dickie round in a second and see if he can cast his eye over it. It's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got the tubing's welded through, or whatever it is welded through.
Yes, there's tubing that bolt sits in.
Yeah, it's gone through and that's welded.
So I managed to get this bit turning, but I can't get it, because there's obviously a big globule there of like rust and crap, or I don't know if someone's welded in the past or something, and I can't get anything past that. And it can't go further that way. I've tried air hammer on there and everything. Yeah. But even a drill, I've tried drilling it and it's not having it.
No.
It's not good, is it?
It's not good. You can cut back.
What, and just re-weld a plate on it?
Re-weld the plate on after.
What, and then so cut this out, angle grind the sides off, because you'd get an angle grinder up it then, couldn't you?
There's a good chance then of getting up there. I know it sounds brutal, but that's something you can think of.
We'll keep looking, we'll keep having a little play, but this can't defeat this car, but I might have to end up cutting the chassis to bits. God, come on. We've entered hour 4 of me trying to do this one simple little job. This is insane, but finally I've managed to get all the way through whatever the hell that is. So I'm all the way through there now. I've just got to sort of elongate it and just make it the right size for the bolt and knock it through and all that sort of good stuff. And then of course I've got the back one to worry about. Look at this for a pile of drill bits. That's what I've used so far. That's everything I've used. I don't know what this thing's made of. It's like it's a big molten blob at the end. It's the weirdest thing, honestly. I've never seen anything like it. It's just like the bolt has been compressed and melted, and it's horrendous. Anyway, buy some t-shirts and stuff so I can go out and buy some proper nice drill bits. These are good drill bits though. This was an expensive set, but I need some better ones. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. It's now 2:15 and there's been a little bit of a breakthrough, but my back is in pieces and my ears are ringing. This is horrendous. So I don't know if you can see that well, but you can see that the bit inside has started to move, and that is properly chewed up in there because I've just had the air hammer on it for about half an hour, and I've had to look at what it's doing to the air hammer. I've had to sharpen the chisel on the air hammer like 3 times. I've never had to do that before. It's crazy. That must be the most high tensile. I think it's been like span round and like heat sort of, I don't know, whatever. But I think it's very close to coming out anyway. It's out that side, it is out. But it's hitting the other side of the bolt where it snapped. Come on, can I just push it round so it falls out? I really want to see this thing. Reminds me of the big elephant foot thing underneath Chernobyl. Yes! Okay, come on. That. Look at that. I'm going to put that in the office. That has been the bane of my life, bane of my existence for the last 5 hours. We should be finishing this video off now. Instead, we're here doing that. Sorry this video is so long. This is just one of those cars that you don't know with cars, do you? I'm going to put that in the office. That goes through nicely. The new bolt. Unreal, that was. Absolutely unreal. Still got to do the other side. What are we going to do? I don't mean that other side. I've still got that other side. I mean the other side of the bolt. Got an idea for that though. I didn't bring any food with me today because I envisioned that we'd be out and about, and Joe's away on holiday for the next couple of days. So my missus bringing me food then, and the coffee, oh my God, lifesaver. Giving me the energy and inspiration to get to this point here where, I don't know if you can see it or not, but where that is now rotating. Thanks to that machine there though. Huge help unlocking that. Please God, please. Come on. Hey!
I'll just about help you. I'm good now.
Oh. That's all tidy in there, and a bolt does go straight through it, which is fantastic. I've just tried it. The saga doth continue though. Essentially, these go straight through there, but as you can see, that would be like a dick in a shirt sleeve. And what you're supposed to do is put that in. Now, the issue I've got is that, well, here we go again. That bush is pressed in. I've got to press that in. The chances of that coming out of there, it just looks like non-existent. It's almost 4 o'clock. Tired, my back hurts, and I've still got the other side to do. And I thought we'd be finishing this video today, so we get it out to you for this weekend. I might still be able to though. I've just got to think. I've just got to crack on. I've got to do this side. I'm really hoping this side unbolts. This other side. This one isn't going to. I've wrecked this steering gaiter as well, but if I'd have thought, I'd have cut this cable tie there and slid it up that way, but I just didn't even think at the time. I was too busy stressing about this bolt rather than the drill damaging that. Trunnion bushes look absolutely sound though. Trunnions feel really good. So yeah, they're solid. Don't need to do anything there. A good sort of, I don't know, 2 years later, this bush is in, and that's hopefully going to keep this wheel straight. That's what we could really do with. Mad as well, but I used various methods to get the bush out, but I also used the water pump bearing pushing tool, which in a mad stroke of luck was exactly the same size, but that has taken me an hour to swap that over. I'm trying to find the other bit, the bit that came out. I had to go at it, I had to saw it in half down the middle. That's it here. Look at the state of that. I had to cut it down there with a little hand saw. So just sitting there forever, just with this little Irwin here, Steve, just cutting away. So I cut it down there just to take the pressure off, and that did the trick in the end, but I tried everything to get it out. Anyway, I'm on 8 hours so far, maybe even more. Oh, my back is in pleats. Right, I'm going to completely reassemble this side now, and I'll just sort of show you. I mean, it's dead straightforward, really. You've only got like 2 bushes and a couple of bolts and things. Look at the state of that. That's what came out. Just rotten, absolutely rotten. And that was just the mega high tensile stuff. You can almost tell by the colour of it. I think it's just got so hot at one point when it's like snapped or span round or something, I don't know, and made it super drill bit resistant. Right, okay, let me put it back together. Finally, we are stitched back up. The only thing is we didn't get, I did ask Archie for the anti-roll bar stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what it is that I'm missing. I can't tell on that side because it's missing either. I've just been to have a look at the blue one out there just to see what's there, and you can see there's a couple of extra like sort of, like, I don't know what they are, washer, bush type things. Without taking it apart, I can't tell. But that's what we're missing for the anti-roll bar. But thankfully, it's quite an easy job to unbolt and bolt the anti-roll bar. It's only like a couple of bolts there and there. So not the end of the world, but this is back together, thank God. I've got to do this side. I'm just going to get stuck into it. I don't know what I'm letting myself in for here. But you can see it desperately, desperately needs it. That bush is completely gone. Just got to start. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to put the wheel back on that side because I just want to see how this thing lines up in the arch now compared to how it did. I'm not going to be able to properly tell until it's on the ground, but looks pretty good to me, you know. Big gap there, big gap there. That's what we want to see. Brakes are a little bit sticky though, but they might just need sort of freeing up a bit of a scouse service, but we'll do that. We'll give it one of those one day. But first, the other side. Night is drawing in, and I've still got 1/2 of one bolt to get out, and then I'm going to finish it off tomorrow because it's like 9 o'clock. I just phoned Matt Armstrong then and I said, have you got any ideas on how I can do this? And he goes, just get your dad to do it. That was a joke. He's great, love him, top guy. Asked Johnny Smith as well. I phoned him up and I said, have you got any ideas on how I can get this bolt out of this Lotus? And he goes, I don't know, mate. I've just washed cars. Don't know. I'm only joking. God, bloody hell. Anyway, this one is now, this side is cut off, and I'm trying to get. I've been manipulating stuff in order to get my little air saw into there and just cutting down the sides of the bolt, because this one is of course just the same. So what a total utter nightmare. This side of the car in general is in a lot better condition, and the bolt was spinning, but it's just locked inside the middle of the bush and I can't do anything about that. Anyway, getting too old to do these late nights in the workshop. It's out! I've just put this bolt in there just to make sure everything still lines up, and it does. Apologies for the audio quality in the last half of this video, but in the workshop with all the noise and all that sort of stuff and the microphone, I've been here for like 13 hours now, and you can't keep microphones charged and stuff, so you just have to bear with it, right? Audio quality is not the best. This isn't Discovery Channel. Allow me to show you what I've been doing. This is the bottom arm. This is the bolt that goes through it here, like so, as you can see, and I've cut this bolt down the sides. I couldn't do that to the other one because it had all that globule stuff and I couldn't get anything down it. And the reason I couldn't get anything down there was that the bush thing was still seized in the middle, whereas this one wasn't. So this one, this bit here, could slide backwards and forwards, so I could move the arm left or right in order for me to get that gap to put the air saw down, or my hand saw. That's fallen on the floor, I'm going to keep that. Anyway, that is why I couldn't get this bottom arm out. So that won't fit through the hole in the chassis, and that is C solid in there. You're never getting that out. Those two bits of metal are one, and that is the inside there is the original bolt. So I've got to press this out and put the new one in. It's just, to be honest, not the most amazing design, but there we go, it's done, and hopefully it's going to mean the wheels are in the middle of the thing. I'm tired, I'm going to bed. Well, yesterday was a bit of a write-off, but sometimes you get that with cars, you know, there's just nothing you can do. Some jobs are harder than others, and some jobs catch you out, and this one certainly did. But I came in early again this morning just to get everything buttoned up on the bottom of the car. I was able to process some stuff overnight as well, and I went out and had a good look over the blue Eclat, and just to have a look at how that anti-roll bar setup works, because the anti-roll bar is something that controls the forward and back motion of the front wheel as well. It doesn't just stop the, you know, car from rolling, it does actually stop the forward and backward movement of the wheel. The wishbone setup isn't, you know, very substantial on these things, but I think I've managed to build something up with washers and other stuff and bushes and things similar to what's on the blue Eclat, and it kind of now works. Do you want to have a look? Finally, we're all buttoned up with all nice shiny new hardware and all that sort of good stuff. And compared to what they were like, all of these bolts are now exactly as they're supposed to be. All very, very nice. And the anti-roll bar is in there. This is the anti-roll bar. And as you can see, it's poking out nicely and it's good. And now, if I give this a bit of a movement, that is stiff as a board. That ain't going nowhere, and I'm hoping that means it's just going to drive a million times better than it ever would, and we're not going to get all this rubbing and disastrous consequences. I need to have a bit of a tidy up in here, get everything done and get this car outside, put the bonnet back on, all that sort of stuff, and the splash guard and things. Look what arrived though. It's the Austin logo Tasty Classics t-shirts, they've arrived. So while I'm doing this, why don't you go on the website and help me pay for all this? We'll talk, once this car's outside, about how much this thing has cost me and if this has been an auction win or an auction lose. Because I've spent pretty much 6 days straight in the workshop working on this thing. So you've got to take that into consideration. And if there's some jobs that you've seen that you might not have been able to do at home because you haven't got the press and all this sort of stuff, then you might have to factor that into your cost as well when it comes to buying a car like this from auction. But we'll go through them once we've got the thing outside. Oh man, she just drove out of here like a spunking Newith brand new yellow supercar, which is exactly what she is. That wheel is perfect. I know it looks like it's a little bit forward. I think maybe the anti-roll bar pulls it slightly that way, but it's the same gap on the blue one. But yeah, there's absolutely no brakes whatsoever, so we're not going to take it up the road or anything. This side again, maybe a little bit further. I might need to do a little bit more work in the anti-roll bar sort of area and see if I am doing that properly. I think the best thing for me to do is to get that blue one up in the air and just have a bit of a, you know, the shufty at it, but it's solid anyway, it doesn't move, so it's not going to hit anything, which is important. Might need to get some of the proper bits from Lotus Bits, proper Lotus Bits, to sort that anti-roll bar, because yeah, the anti-roll bar is pulling those wheels forward a touch and it should be pushing them back a tiny bit more, I think, but we'll figure that out in the next episode. Couple of things I want to figure out in the next episode. We need to sort of do a bit of a carb rebuild or just a carb adjustment or something that we need to do, because the choke just doesn't work at all. So there's something up with it, but it's not something that I can just jump into. I need to have a bit more of a play with it. And also, we've got to do the brakes. We've got to sort the brakes out, make sure all the brakes are good. But look what's trying to come back to life. You can see it coming there. It's really wants to. Come on. Oh, come on. It will. It will come back to life. It definitely will. I've got a new wiper and stuff for it, and maybe we'll give it a bit of a grease and the things. But yeah, she does want to live. Still no horn though. We got defrost. So the idles, I mean, it idles very low as well. It could do with definitely sort of increasing. I mean, it's all right, but yeah, could definitely do with being a little bit better. How do I turn these things on? Oh yeah, it's there. I mean, there is a semblance of brakes there. It's definitely, something's definitely happening. I mean, there's enough for us to take it for a little spin. The engine's just superb. Everything's working really nicely. She sounds so good as well. It's nice driving a manual one of these. The other one's an automatic, but I don't mind the automatic because I've got some plans for that blue one. Tracking's a bit off as well, which is probably understandable, isn't it? As the anti-roll bar's pushing everything away. But yeah, I need to get that set up properly. It's all right, and the wheels feel very, very solid. It feels very nice to drive, but I do need to sort that out. Just got to work it out. If anybody in the comments can email me a picture of exactly how that's supposed to look, I'd be very grateful. I've tried to look online at manuals and stuff, but I can't find anything. But I'll have a look at the blue one when I get that on the ramp. There's going to be a video on the blue one soon as well. I'm going to do all the interior on it and stuff. And then maybe I'm going to drop it off down to Lotus Bits and get them to sort a few jobs out on it. Seeing as they've got all the parts there. It does drive very nicely. It's got some pickup to it. It certainly goes okay. Oh man, this thing's cool. It's been a hell of a job, this. Hell of a job. But she is properly back to life. This thing is properly back to life. I love it. Lotuses? Lotuses? Lotus? Let me know in the comments what is the plural for lotuses, because I've got two. And was this an auction win or was it an auction lose? Well, because I've got the luxury of being able to do a lot of stuff myself, it's got to be an auction win. It's a properly clean car. The bodywork, the interior, there's not a lot of stuff it needs now to get this thing properly over the line. A lot of the electrics work and stuff. It's very, very smart. And that engine is beautiful. Just needs a little tweak on the carbs, but I'm going to get myself a little book on those Twindle autos and I'm going to have a read of it, and we're going to try and make it sing a little bit nicer in the next video. Cost-wise, we're looking at, so far, the best part of £3,000. That's for everything parts wise that I've spent, including the car as well. I haven't included the collection, delivery, you know, all that sort of stuff, all petrol and all that type of things, but parts wise and the car alone, about £3,000, which isn't crazy, because, you know, it's a very, very nice one, and it will be a very, very nice one, but there might be a little bit more to spend on it, you know. Let me know what you think though, eh? Do you think it's an auction win or do you think it's an auction lose? I might buy some more cars from classic car auctions and go through them, because it is quite interesting. But this one, I'm not going to be keeping. So this car is currently up for raffle. So you can go onto the link in the description and put your pound in the machine and you could win this car. But before you take it away, I'll make sure I sort the brakes and I'll make sure I give those carbs a bit of a fettle. And anything else it needs, maybe try and get that wiper working, that type of stuff, you know, just to sort of get it over the line for you. There's going to be a few jobs it's going to need going forward. The chassis on the driver's side more than anything isn't the best. There's a couple of little rust holes on it here and there which might need doing, and the back could do with a proper under seal and stuff, but and the exhaust, maybe some proper hangers. I'll have a look, see if I can get some of those in the next episode. But yeah, as a bit of a rolling restoration, I think this is going to be a nice car for someone, I really do. And speaking of restorations and rolling restorations, I'm going to keep this blue one for the time being. The next episode you're going to see on that is probably when I completely redo the interior, and then I need to do some other bits on it. I'm even thinking about painting it. I'm just not sure yet. But that 7 Series that ends, I think, is it tomorrow that ends? So you can go and put a pound in that machine as well if you want to drive that restored car away. But this thing here, yeah, I'm thinking of a replacement for the BMW, because I was going to use a BMW to take some miles off the Porsche, and maybe I use that to do that instead, because it's just a very cool car and I like the styling of the Eclat a little bit more than the Elite, and I like the blue and things. I don't know, I just want to do more with that car. I think it deserves it. It's very, very cool. And this yellow one, I want to do more to it as well. One of the reasons I want to do more to it is because even though yesterday was back-breaking and a nightmare to do, it was a horrendous job, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But everything else has been spot on. Everything else has been a dream to work on. The engine's very, very simple. I'm hoping those carbs are going to be just as easy to work on, but everything is just the bolts, but the way it's designed, everything apart from those two bottom arms, everything is superb, and it's a real good car and easy car as a rolling restoration for you to sort of maybe learn on or do more to. I'll do all the hard stuff, get it sort of over the line for you. But yeah, the rest of it, very, very straightforward. And I hope you've enjoyed watching me bring this car back to life. It's been a bit longer of an episode than I would have imagined and cost a lot more money than I would have imagined, but it's fine. It's okay, it's well worth it. This is a proper cool car and I've enjoyed doing it. And if you've enjoyed watching, please hit that subscribe button. That'd be so good. You know, get some subscribers in the bag. That'd be awesome. And look, I will do more on this car. There will be other episodes. There will be other episodes on that one as well. But I've got a few other things that I need to get out of the way first. Namely, a Volkswagen Golf GTI that needs finishing off. And the logbook arrived for it day before yesterday. So I'm going to start cracking on that on Monday morning. Well, Tuesday morning actually, because I'm picking up another new car on Monday. Just never stops, does it? But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.